the mortuaries in Ghana, and I'm joined in the studio by the team from Transitions. I'm joined by the Managing Director, Genevieve Cornelius. She's a General Manager for Transitions, and Azure Abbas Abatule. He's a Senior Embalmer for Transitions. Welcome, lady and gentlemen, to the show.
Thank you.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Abbas?
I'm doing very well. Yourself?
I'm good. So we're having a conversation before we came on air, about Abbas's job. But, it's quite interesting. I have never been to a morgue. I've never seen dead bodies in that state. So when we did that story, I became very frightened because then I'm asking myself, is that the state of dead bodies everywhere in the world? I mean, in Ghana here especially. What makes Transitions different? Is it the same situation there?
Okay, thank you. I'll take that question. That is not the state for mortuaries. That's not the standard, actually. In Transitions, we have the state-of-the-art facilities. Basically, the mortuaries is a place of preserving our loved ones between the time of death and burial. It is a place that you preserve them, preservation internally, okay, to keep them in a comfortable state. In Ghana, naturally, we preserve for longer periods than outside. Within a day or two, a funeral is done in the developed countries. Here, average 5-6 weeks, basically. That's how it is. In Transitions, you come in, we have what we call one room, one chamber, okay? People are kept in what we call hotel chambers indirectly. One person is in there, the ambience, the environment, even the equipment we use for embalming are all state-of-the-art facilities. And we have, people can go online and see our premises. It's not just what we are saying, but actually what is there that is
okay, but we are seeing it on the TV now.
That people can see.
Yeah, please go ahead. So, obviously, you are state-of-the-art funeral home.
Yeah.
But I have heard a lot about Transitions, okay. And from all indications, even just before you joined us, we're discussing Transitions. We're discussing funeral homes and mortuaries. But Transitions, they're expensive, aren't you?
That is a misconception. No, we are not. Transition is very competitive. Okay. Currently, look, we have products and packages that afford every pocket. So we can offer funerals to suit every budget, okay? It's a perception people have thinking that we are expensive. But the average market people that have come to us, we have caskets as low as 5,000, 4,000 people can buy.
5,000 cedis?
Yes. And then you have high-end casket hearses.
And what the high-end ones cost how much?
Oh, averagely, people can spend within 10,000 plus for a casket. Okay, but if you go to the local market, they cost around the same thing. The local ones, 3,500, 4,000. So we are very affordable. Our storage fees, averagely, as I was telling you, 40, 45 cedis per day. Okay, flat for a long period, compared with what we have across the market. You can see even some of the private entities are doing as high as 50 per day. So Transition is not expensive. Transition is very affordable, and it fits all budgets.
Okay. Abbas, share your experience working with Transitions, and how you preserve these bodies, how you take care of them with us.
It's been fun and interesting. If I compare Kolebu to Transition.
Because you have worked at Kolebu.
Sure. Transition happens to be the best place to work with. The way we do our things comparing to other government mortuaries or funeral homes, Transition is best to talk about. And then the way we keep our loved ones is also different from the other mortuaries. So to talk of embalming, gone were those days that you use a longer syringe to inject someone's loved one. We don't do that.
So the embalmment is what exactly? Tell us what
just to prevent the person from decay, spoiling.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So what do you inject into them?
So we have what we call the standard arteria. We don't use the local formalin and intrafriant. And then we have what we call the color concentrate. So you are fair. I don't know. You are fair. So assuming the person is no more and the person is fair or darker. We have colors that we use for each and every one.
So the people who bleach, when they die, what happens?
We have colors for them. That will keep the body the same. It wouldn't change. Yes.
Okay. So that's what embalmment is?
Yes, please.
Okay. And you say that you don't use the long syringes.
Yes, we have what we call the embalming.
In that video we saw from Kolebu, the story that we did, we saw them using some long
strange like that. We don't use that. We have what we call the embalming machine. Okay. So we just pick the artery and then the medicine runs through the person and that's it.
Even when they are no more, they are dead?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. And, talking about working conditions, because we spoke with the mortuary workers in Kolebu as well, you say that it's better. It's definitely better than what you were experiencing.
Far better, but I don't know if my boss will allow me to talk about that. But it's far better. Seriously, far better.
Why don't you want him to talk about it?
I haven't said anything.
Okay, then tell us about it.
We have been given everything. So transition, you are just not allowed to do anything just. You understand? What is needed of you to do, you need to do it because you are being taken good care of compared to the other mortuaries and stuff like that. Yeah, so to talk about conditions, transition is far better, needless to say.
Okay. Yeah. You don't get discriminated against as a worker at the mortuary?
A lot. People do come and then they ask, are you not afraid?
Just like I asked you.
Yes, so what I tell them personally is, no, this is nature. If you have the courage, you do it. Yeah, so I'm there to do the work.
Okay. Genevieve, let me ask you, how do you train your workers? Because he talks about not using what we are used to, what we know, which is the long syringes to do the embalmment and whatnot. How do you train them?
Okay, thank you. Our team are actually internationally trained. We brought in international experts at the onset of the business.
Okay.
And they went through best practices. Okay, when it comes to mortuary care, preservation, even as they said here, they are all trained in what we call facial reconstruction. Okay, so unfortunately, some people pass through gory accident and things are not as it is, but family needs to have closure. So you need to reconstruct and make your loved one presentable to a certain level for family to have that closure.
And you do all that?
We do all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say is that premium thing that makes transitions different from any other funeral home in Ghana? Okay.
The premium thing that makes us different is that we offer quality, okay? We relate with family. We empathize with them to go through the process, okay? To provide them stress-free funeral. So we are a one-stop shop facility. We take the entire process from the family to enable them to grieve, because grieving is part of the normal mourning process. So we take the running around, we organize things to the family the way they would want it, so that the family would be at peace to know that, look, this is going to be done affordable, stress-free, and in very convenient manner. So that is our key differentiator, working with the family to take the stress away from them and giving them that quality one-stop shop experience.
Okay, Abbas, I mean, when you were working at Kolebu, we've been told that there are bodies that are kept there for as long as 10 years, 15 years, whatnot. Would you say that Ghanaians should consider reducing the number of days or years or, the length at which they keep dead bodies in mortuaries?
Yes. But you see, to answer this question, it's discretionary sometimes. It solely lies between the family, whether to keep it long
or short.
Okay. So for that, I can't determine.
For them.
Yeah. Yes, for them. But others keep their bodies. What we know, basically, for the queens and chiefs, we know they can keep it for 10, 15 years because they will be going through their traditional rite before they bury the person. And others too keep them just to gather money and then do it better, so that they will say, well, you'll not feel logic by.
I knew you were gone. I was just waiting for him to speak.
This is some of the things that happen.
Okay.
Yeah, and then others too. Reason why bodies are being kept long are sometimes family issues. Right. We have issues that are pending at the court, which if not determined by the court, you cannot take it.
You cannot take it out and...
So these are some of the things that encounter all these things.
But don't you think that is what is accounting for the overcrowding of dead bodies at these, you know, public mortuaries?
If I could help with
yes,
that.
sure.
Yeah, if I could help. So we as market leaders have been, since we came onto the market, have been deliberate to try to change that conception. So we have actually come out with packages that are 2 weeks, encouraging people to do their funerals within 2 weeks. We provide everything for you, and you can do it in our premises. And you'll be surprised about the uptake. People didn't know they can do funerals even on weekends. Weekdays.
Weekdays.
Okay, as I speak to you, people are warming up to the idea of having their funeral within 2 hours on a Monday morning. From 7 to 9 is done. What are some of the factors that helps with that? We have insurances that you can take.
Okay.
Cost is a very critical matter when it comes to the length of stay. So we have insurances with our sister company, Enterprise Life, that would help you to be able to plan it, to do it within a short period of time. Okay. We have things like what? Like we are saying, people need to come from afar. We are Ghanaians. Family is big. Now we have live streaming, digital solutions. So Wafa in the village with a phone and internet can watch the funeral live. Doesn't really need to come in.
Okay, let me ask you another question about transition. So you appear to be like a one-stop shop for everything funerals.
Yes.
But for someone who may not be able to afford all the other services that you provide, are you able to provide mortuary services for a family where, you know, when they are ready to do the burial, they just come and take their body and do their own thing?
Yes, please. Okay, so our services are, you can pick one service item or you can pick a bouquet. Okay. So we have the full range, but we serve, like I said, every budget. So if your service that you require is only mortuary services, we will offer to you. But our objective is to provide the entire value chain to you to make sure that, look, getting it at one place, anybody who have gone through funeral arranging, as we call it, is very stressful. It normally brings chaos or dispute in family. It's costly, running around, time, poverty, and all that. So our objective is not just to give you one solution, but to give you the entire bouquet. But if the client chooses, we'll still give you that one solution that you're looking for.
Okay. Yeah. Now, before we go, what is that one thing that, Genevieve, you want people to know or think of when they think of transitions? I have learned something new. I thought that your services were very expensive, but knowing that you charge about 40 Ghana cedis for preservation, I mean, that's relatively okay, right? Compared to the 15 cedis at Kolebu or 15 for the first week. Then I know the second week it moves to 20 cedis and it keeps going on and on. What is the one thing that you want people to, you know, have in mind when they think of transitions?
When you think of transition, you want to think about the love that you have for that loved one that has passed. And think about saying goodbye in a good way. Give that person that befitting burial in a quality ambience, professional team, and stress-free and affordability. And that's that key thing, that you need somebody to hold your hand through the process. It's not a comfortable journey to go with. And we want to say the transition is there to go with you every step of the way to enable the family to go through that difficult period without too much stress.
Abbas,
to add up,
yes.
Okay, to add up with what Genevieve just said, the comfort that they will get at transition. I'm sure you also go out funerals, you see the way we dress our loved ones, and then we want them to always count on us. We are not saying people should come, but we are saying when it does happen, they should count on us for the comfort that we will give them.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have branches nationwide? When I hear transitions, I know you have a place in Hachu.
Yes.
Is that the only branch that you have?
Currently, yes, but we have a good working relationship with most of the funeral homes and mortuaries in the country. So we are able to operate through the length and breadth of the country.
Okay. Yes. So you can, do you have a specific place where you do your burials?
Okay, currently, no, we don't own our own cemetery.
Yes.
But we work with all the private cemeteries in Ghana and even some of the public ones. We take the process from the family and do all the arrangement, getting the burial papers done, the slot, the tiling and everything. So that's why we are a one-stop shop. Okay, we collaborate. The industry is wide and we need to work as a team. So we work with other partners to provide that solution.
Okay. Before I let both of you go, I want you to comment quickly on that video, that story. Have you seen our video?
Yes, we have. Yes.
What was your initial reaction when you saw it? For someone who works in the industry.
Okay, thank you for that. The initial reaction is that this is what we are fixing as industry players. I must say that there is a regulator coming up, okay, under the Act 829, the Mortuaries and Funeral Facility Agency. I am a committee transitions, a member of that, and these are our key objectives, to bring about the guidelines and some of the things that will eventually manage all these things. So there are a lot of works going on, and as industry players, we are happy that we have begun to even have positive influence on some of these things. It's not the best of state as it is, but I'm happy to say that work is on the ground, and gradually we will get to see what we see at places like Transition across the nation.
When will that be?
I wish I could give you a timeline, but I can't.
I mean, looking at the state of the mortuary in Korle Bu, I'm wondering when it will get to the state of transitions.
Well, I wouldn't say that it is undoable. It is very doable. If we could do what we've done in 5 years, okay, it could be done as soon as possible. But the good thing is that it is being worked on, and we'll see the impact. As we came in, we will be surprised to see the number of impact we've made. Okay, now Transition does this, the following day others do that. The way we do things, people tell you, say, I like it the Transition way.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So gradually we are making our mark. We call ourselves babies with sharp teeth. We are just 5 years in the market, but we are very impressed with what we have done and how we are collaborating with the industry players to effect the change we want to see in the entire nation.
Abbas, your comments on that video?
Yes, when I first saw the video, I was like, wow, this is still happening in the 21st century. But it's very hard, but we are working towards it. We will get there.
You are. What are you doing to work towards it? Didn't you come from there?
I came from I came from that end, but like I said initially.
How long ago did you work there?
6 years before.
So you've been with Transition since they started?
Yes.
Okay, and 6 years ago it was still like this.
Yeah.
Wow. And you worked there for how long?
6 years.
You worked there for 6 years?
For 6 years. Before coming to Transitions.
For 6 years?
For 6 years.
I'm sure the past 6 years of your life has been a good one compared to where you were coming from. But it's disheartening, isn't it?
Sure. It's very, very bad to see such thing on video. I don't know why it's still happening, but like I said.
When you were there, did you guys protest? Did you make your concerns known to them?
A lot. We always complain that we don't have a place of conveniency, and that is where we do embalming comparing to Transition, what we saw on the TV. But it's like, on deaf ears, you don't know what to do.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Genevieve, do you do cremation at Transitions?
No, we don't do cremation, but we offer cremation services, and we leverage with other players in the industry to do that. So we do both automated cremation.
What is automated cremation?
Okay, so that one is you call it the modern one, where you use the gas chamber to do that. Okay, and then we have the traditional one. People, based on religious beliefs, wants to go with the normal fire and wood. That is another way of cremation. We do both.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a very insightful conversation. I've learned a lot. Thank you so much. Genevieve Cornelius is the General Manager for Transitions, and Azure Abbas Abatule is a Senior Embalmer for Transitions. I am Sewami here. If you lose a loved one, well, now you know where to take them till we fix Korle Bu. the mortuary in Kwalebu, you know where to. This is free adverts for transitions.
appreciate that.
Thank you so much for watching the show. I am Sewami here. I will see you next week on Monday. Have a great weekend. Make sure that it's restful and enjoy the rest of your day.